If you enjoy running for cross training, or if running is one of your primary sports, I've got a couple tricks for you that I want to share with you to help reduce your risk of injury. Let's take a look. If you have followed me for any period of time, I want to first and foremost say thank you. And you know I'm a big fan of the Garmin dashboard. The Garmin dashboard provides a plethora of information not only on our training volume and the recovery, but it also has a feature known as gear. If you look at the screen right here, this is a tremendous asset because I don't know about you, but I can't always remember the last time I purchased a pair of running shoes. Well, when you use this attribute on your phone, you can actually denote the day that you purchased them. And then when you go to work out and you toggle through your watch and you say, all right, I'm gonna go for a run, it's actually logging the amount of miles that you've put on that particular pair of running shoes since the date that you've bought them. Now, I tend to be a little overcautious when it comes to running just because it's one of the most impactful things on the human body, which makes it hard on your ankles, your knees, your lower back. So I always like to say when your shoes get between 300 and 400 miles, I think you should replace them. Now, there are people that say you can get 400 and 500 out of them, no problem. I understand. The materials have gotten better and better, but I'm always going to err on the side of caution, particularly when it comes to running, so that we avoid patella tendonitis, plantar fasciitis of the foot, any and all pains for that matter. But here's a second trick that I want you to think about. The next time you go to buy some running shoes, I want you to buy 2 pairs of the exact same shoe. I want you to take somewhere, I put it on the bottom of the shoe, so that way, you know, it's not like it's going to get rubbed off. If you put it kind of like where the arch is at, where it doesn't really contact the ground. If you want to roll the tongue up, you can put it like where it gives you that little white patch on the inside of the tongue there. My point being is take 2 pairs of shoes, label one pair A and the second pair B, and then go back to your gear on the Garmin and literally put in running shoe A and running shoe B. And then the science behind having 2 pairs of shoes like this is when you go out and you run, when your foot compresses, obviously you're beating down the running material, the material that the shoe is made out of. So if you give it a couple days day off, that material will actually decompress. So you get twice as much mileage out of one pair of shoes. So when you buy 2 pairs, you actually will double the distance that you'll be able to get out of both of them, because you're giving them a day off in between. So if you're running Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're really using that shoe on Monday and Friday. Then you're using that shoe on Wednesday and then on Sunday. Then you see how you keep rotating them through? It's been proven over and over again. If you give them just that extra day to decompress, you'll literally double the life of the shoe. Now, when we're looking at the idea that we want to minimize our risk of injury, think about how cool that is. We've got a device on our phones that are tied in with our heart rate monitors that every time we start an activity, it's going to be literally keeping a mileage tracker for each pair of shoes that you've got. Now you've reduced your risk of injury and you've doubled the amount of mileage that you get out of your running shoes. So this is just a little trick that I like to share with everybody. The only 2 things that will ever slow you down are what? Getting sick or getting injured. So this is just a simple trick that you guys can use. Like I say, whether you use running as your primary sport of choice or whether you're using it as a cross training. Now, one little final thought in regards to running shoes. When you get closer to that 250 to 300 miles on your shoes, take your shoes and flip them up and look at the bottom side of them. Try to determine, are you a pronator? And what I mean by that is a pronator, your foot falls inward. Are you a supinator and your foot falls outward? Because I cannot tell you how many times I've picked up a new client and unfortunately they were running in the wrong type of shoe. They bought a shoe made for supination, but they're a pronator. I want to make sure that that's not confusing. Shoes are made nowadays to fit the type of runner that you are. So this is why I'm such a big advocate for you going to a brick and mortar. Support the local stores. They can put you on a treadmill. They can have you run. A lot of them, we do a lot of work with Fleet Feet. They'll have you run. They'll film you from the side, the back, the front. They'll be able to see where and how your feet land, and they'll line you up with the right type of shoe, which is going to reduce your risk of injury. Just keep stacking and reducing the risk of injury is our #1 goal here for you. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you're new, thank you so much for giving us some time. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like and subscribe and turn on the notifications. That way you're the first to know that we've put out a new video, because we put one out every day here on YouTube. If you happen to have a question, something that we can solve for you, please feel free to send me an email, contact@coachrob.com. Again, thank you for your time today, and I certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow.